Mindfulness, for those of you who are not familiar with it, it's an ancient practice and it's relevant now even more in our present day lives. And it has to do with waking up and living in harmony with oneself and the world. And that might not be that easy sometimes. I've studied with many mindfulness teachers, and one comment one of my teachers, Cindy Lee, had always stuck out in my mind on becoming familiar, becoming friends with yourself. And that awakening of your unconscious to become a curious, conscious mind always stuck with me. And that is why I meditate with my eyes open now. And I feel like I need to be awake for life. I need to translate this meditation practice, not only for the time that I'm doing it, but for the rest of the day. And a book I'm reading right now by John Kabat-Zinn, you may have heard of it. It's called Wherever You Go, There You Are. And although we feel like we're going nowhere right now because we're stuck at home, we are still going places. We're going places in our mind. We're creating stories. And he talks about in this book how sages, yogis, Zen masters have been exploring this territory for thousands of years. And the process they learned has become profoundly beneficial to counterbalance our cultural orientation towards controlling or subduing nature, rather than honoring that we are an intimate part of it. So being outside there's studies, tons of studies where when we connect with nature, that has a bigger stress release for us than, say, meditating in like the middle of the concrete jungle, which I know plenty of people have to do because I got lots of friends in this middle of New York City right now. So he goes on to saying, investigating inwardly our own nature and the nature of our mind, through this careful, systematic observation, we may be able to live the lives we want with greater satisfaction, harmony, wisdom. So he goes on to say that meditation is like paying attention in a particular way on purpose and in the present moment, not judgmentally. And that practice, the results of it come stability, clarity, and strength. Who doesn't need that? So when we let problems build up over time and we don't tend to them and they start to leave us feeling stuck or out of touch, I agree with this author that mindfulness provides a simple but powerful route for getting us unstuck. And it's a way to take charge of the direction you want to go and the quality of your life and your relationships. So I thought, what a better way to just share maybe a minute of this so that you can see for yourself. And I stated the why. How I start to awaken my senses. I like to keep my eyes open, like I said. I like to enhance my sense of smell with an essential oil. And today I chose joy because I kind of woke up feeling maybe not so joyful today. I was like, wow, this is just another weekend. It's a holiday weekend and, not a lot of plans going on that I normally would do. So how am I going to cultivate a feeling of joy with those around me and myself? So I'm going to tap into this today and see if it gives me the lift that I'm looking for. And I'll say a little bit more about that in a second. But I like to feel supported. So I find the most comfortable position for me to meditate is, I did a series on walking guided meditation, and you can catch that on my YouTube channel or on IGTV. I have some of them loaded. I'll start getting better at that. And I like to sit as well. And I love my meditation cushion from Kathamanda Yogi. If you have never heard of that, look those cushions up. They are the best. You can sit for hours to meditate if you have the time. But really 1 minute can change your physiological makeup, okay? So I like to cleanse my palate before I meditate. So I make sure I brush my teeth. I use some nice Thieves mouthwash to freshen my breath because I don't like a bad taste in my mouth. And I don't really like to come to my mat or my cushion to meditate when I'm doing yoga or meditation with a bad taste in my mouth, right? So if something's bothering me, I have to use my mouth to kind of cleanse that, let that whole bad juju go, and then get on my mat and or my cushion or any chair. I mean, you can meditate in your car. You can just sit still in your car. You don't have to make it a formal thing, right? And I like to observe the sound around me. So I like to always be, if I'm indoors by a window where I can kind of hear nature, I'm hearing some birds chirping, I hear some children's voices. I'm hoping that the workers that are out there doing the job today don't start making some loud noise in the middle of this like last week. And let's see, we got touch, feel. What am I missing? That's it, sound, all of it. Okay, so 5 senses. Your eyes, I like open. My sense of smell, I'm going to practice with joy. I like to feel physically supported, so the way I'm sitting, the posture I keep, I've got to be comfortable. Taste, I got to have a clean mouth. Even though I like to swear a lot, that's not so clean. And I like to observe the sound. Like, I don't normally meditate to music. I don't think that music and meditation go together. It takes me out of the present and brings me back to the time of what that song does for me. However, I love music for other activities. I find it very powerful. So, the other thing that I really liked about this John Kabat-Zinn, what he taught in his book, is how mindfulness is like heartfulness. And that was the other reason why I decided to choose joy, because joy is a blend of several essential oils that are made for people who are maybe going through a grief time in their life. So I wear it over my heart. And so I'm just going to apply some on my chest after I rub it through my palms. And it can even be, it's nice, and could even be like a cologne or a perfume. So after I place that on my hands, I can whiff that through my room. I can put it in my diffuser. I can even put it through my hair and let it be like a natural diffuser. If I'm a guy and I have a beard, you can naturally diffuse your oils by rubbing it through your beard and having that scent come up through your nose. But finding the greater good in all of this isolation and learning to wake up with a joyful heart is not always easy. And I strive to pull to be in the present and begin the practice. So if you care to try this, maybe grab an oil for yourself if you have one. And let's just sit for a minute. I'm going to set the timer. Oop, wrong little. Here we go. So let's just see what a minute feels like by just coming into our breath and noticing that breath centering us, grounding us, and creating that sense of awakened consciousness. And just notice that breath traveling down into the belly, feeling the ribs externally rotate on the inhale, maybe pausing at the top of the inhale, and then feeling the chest rise just slightly. We want to make sure we don't use our neck and shoulder muscles to breathe, right? Those are accessory muscles that happen in respiration, but find yourself directing your breath to your diaphragm. And a nice strong posture is what lets that diaphragm have the space to dome, okay? So we need to restore the position of our rib cage in order to achieve that. So find your place if you'd like, and we'll go for a minute. I'm going to begin now. I like to rest my hands in this mudra with my knuckles stacked on top of each other. The tips of the thumbs rest, but you can put your hands down on your lap. You can leave them up. You can do whatever makes you feel good and strong and able to breathe. All right, here we go. Okay, that was 1 minute. The timer went off. So how did that feel for you if you tried it? Did you notice the sound started to come on, of course? All these things, maybe your monkey mind was still chattering, but all of that is okay as long as you make it, you are aware of it and then you let it pass, just like a cloud floating across the sky. And then anchoring down back to noticing your breath. I hope that was helpful for you. And if you like these videos, you want to share them with a friend, I so appreciate the referrals and word of mouth in passing around the goodness. And I would love your comments. So feel free to comment below or reach out to me on any other social media or through my website, juliemackey.com. I look forward to seeing you. Bye. Happy Memorial Day.